Well, maybe the area team with the toughest non-conference schedule in the entire area are the Ashland area Arrows. They started with a really tough one tonight at home, Wadsworth. Jen Danczak, the First Lady of Scores and More, was there. Jen, tell the people at home how this thing played out. What happened?
There was a ton of stuff going on, but it wasn't really eventful in the first quarter, so it kind of was slow. Had to drink my Sprite a little bit to keep myself occupied, but elsewhere it was pretty good.
All right, let's get to the highlights. Let's show the people what you're talking about.
All right, sounds good. So first quarter, like I said, was pretty uneventful until this play when Wadsworth's Alex Jones scored a 5-yard touchdown, bringing score from 6-0. Then later on in the second quarter, there was an interception by Wadsworth, giving them the ball to number 21, Dan Wienerman, to score this 28-yard touchdown, making the ball game 12-0. Later on in the third quarter, number 36 for Wadsworth, Alex Jones, again, went for a 12-yard touchdown, literally getting pushed into the end zone. I mean, how crazy was that? It was like a bee swarm. And then obviously the extra kick was good, making it 19-0 Grizzlies. And then in the fourth quarter, Ashland finally got on the scoreboard when number 7, Jacob Patel, went for a 14-yard touchdown with a 2-point conversion, making it 19-8, with Wadsworth still leading. Then, probably one of the biggest plays of the game, Wadsworth's Austin White went for a 98-yard touchdown, bringing it to 26-8, with the Grizzlies still in the lead.
He looks fast, Jen.
He was crazy. He was definitely one of the better players out there, I'm telling you. Then later on, there was an interception by that totally was by the lineman.
What?
Number 79, Drew Dickinson, a lineman for the Arrows.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, and he ran into the end zone for 38 yards. It was definitely something to see. And then obviously there was the final kick, but nothing really happened after that, so it ended up 26-15 by the Wadsworth Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mentioned Wadsworth's a really good team. They made the playoffs a season ago. The Arrows, really young, Jen. Talk about how the youth maybe worked against them tonight.
When I was looking at the roster, I saw there was a bunch of sophomores, and usually that's not usually a good thing for high school sports, but it actually ended up being in their favor tonight, and same with Ashland as well. They had a lot. And really, I just think it's crazy that they're so young, but they did such a good job. They had a lot, but then again, they had a lot of interceptions. They had a lot of penalties. That's not usually good, but it was also the first game, so I'm having high hopes for both of them. But you know what? Want to know something else, Brian?
I can't wait to hear this. Please tell me.
Wadsworth's coach had cancer, and he had surgery, and he was from the press box yelling and screaming the whole time, which isn't pretty good for someone with cancer, but he wasn't there for 3 weeks with the kids, and they still pulled out a W for the night, so.
Well, that's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
On the Ashland side of things, they start just a sophomore quarterback in Grant Dembo. You mentioned the interceptions. He had 3 of them. Anything that impressed you about him? We mentioned last year on the preview show, he's at least tall.
He's tall, and that's adorable, but he looked really good out there. He didn't look nervous. He didn't. Besides the interceptions, it was okay. He did a good job. I know for a fact he's going to do well this season.
So you would say more good than bad out of Grant Dembo tonight?
I'd say so.
All right, well, it doesn't get much easier for Ashland moving forward. I know they have Tiffin Columbian in Game 3. I'm having trouble with next week, but I know it's a tough one. Dover, boom.
Dover.
See? Girl on the spot here. All right, thanks a lot, Jen. When we come back, we got another new guy to introduce you to, Troy Taylor. He was at one of the oldest rivalries in all of Ohio high school football. We'll show you highlights from that game coming up after this.